Good morning, everyone. Apologize for the lateness. It's 9:34, and I'll call this April 2nd, 2026 meeting of the Housing Authority of Travis County to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Chair Getchie,
Present.
Commissioner Roberts,
Present.
Commissioner Brown,
Present.
Commissioner King,
Present.
Commissioner Freed.
Present. Well, since we're a full house, I think we have quorum.
Yes, we do. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Has anyone signed up to speak to us in public forum or citizen communication?
No.
Thank you. Moving on to action items. First order of business, to administer the oath of office to our newly appointed commissioner. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Are you ready?
So if you could step down, we'll use this as a photo op, and the oath of office we provided to the chair.
Fantastic. You want to join me around front?
Yes, of course. I'll follow you. Should I raise my right hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I,
I, Fareed,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I'll faithfully execute the duties
of the office of the Commissioner
of the Office of the Commissioner
of the Housing Authority of Travis County.
of the Housing Authority of Travis County,
And I will, to the best of my ability,
and I will, to the best of my abilities,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States and of this state.
of the United States and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're going to take a picture of you. I think we'd like a picture with all of you all as well.
Yeah, what is it in the...
Yeah.
I just have
Especially with the green and gold.
I love that best.
Wilma, you're in the minority big time.
Yeah, I know.
It's the power of ladies.
I see. Yes,
Right?
ma'am, it is.
Girl power.
Why don't you get in the middle session? Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, you know what?
You are correct. Thank you. Appreciate
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Fantastic. Full house. Next up on our action items is resolution number HATC 2026-03 to amend the CEO Executive Director's contract.
So you all were sent the copy of the contract. I don't know if Mr. Roberts wanted to talk about the process of how we got here. I can share whatever you'd like me to share, or you want to take the lead.
Yeah, so I asked the HR committee to help me review the CEO executive director's contract. Commissioner Roberts, you want to tell us a little bit about the process of how you reviewed that, what changes were made, and the new amended contract that we have before us?
Yes. Basically, Jimmy and I were supposed to meet, and we never got together, and all of a sudden he left, and so it left it up to me. What I did was basically meet with Mr. Howard, and we worked through it, and he came up with some, the only changes that he came up with were the fact that he would like to extend the contract to exceed 2030. I think we initially started off with the finishing up to 2 instead of 2 year, moved to at least 3, and since we were that close, we just said that we'd try to meet his expectations of 2030. So a 2-year contract seems to be kind of redundant in a sense that we tried that and it worked out, but we don't have the issues that we've had before, and things seem to be running a little smoother and got everything on track, and so we recommended that we extend it to 2030, which is a total of about 4 years, a little over 4 years.
Yeah, the other part of the conversation was we have a new strategic plan and it goes through 2030, and I would like to shepherd that process and align the goals with the strategic plan. So it seems to be a logical approach. So that was the other part, is the strategic plan goes through December of 2030.
And based on that, I recommended to the chair that we extend it to 2030, and you were supposed to look at it and see if you had any issues, and do you have any concerns or issues?
I don't. Thank you very much for your work on that process. It's gone pretty smoothly. Is there any other discussion on the CEO Executive Director's report? Did everyone get an opportunity to review it? Okay. If so, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number HATC 2026-03.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, abstention? That resolution is passed by unanimous voice vote. That brings us to our consent agenda. The only item on this consent agenda is the approval of the minutes from our March regular meeting. With that, I'll ask for a motion regarding our consent agenda.
Offer motion to approve.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I'll just abstain because I wasn't here.
With one abstention, that motion,
Technically, you can vote if
can?
you, yes, you can.
Okay.
If you'd
wholly
like
up to
to,
you,
if you
though.
were able to review the minutes.
I did, but since I wasn't here, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if I can
You
vote
can
on
elect
it.
either way.
Then I'll vote.
Parliament,
Absolutely
yes,
abstain.
right,
So-
okay.
I'll vote,
okay. Well, then
so
we-
it'll be unanimous.
Okay, unanimous approval of those minutes. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to our discussion items. We start with Q1 update of the strategic plan.
Yes, so as just mentioned, the strategic plan was approved in December of last year. We hired a consultant to take us through that process, Innovative Partners, and we're very happy with that. I think the thing to note was that the participation was at an all-time high in terms of what you would see with that kind of process, so we were very happy to see the level of engagement on the part of the staff, in addition to the stakeholders, community stakeholders, and the residents themselves. And so some of the programming that we've been looking at this year obviously directly parlays into some of the feedback we got through that process. And if we haven't provided all that to you, we make sure you'll get all of that, Ms. Fareed. That being said, the goal is at least every quarter to sort of highlight the accomplishments that have been achieved to date. And so I'm going to sort of brief by exception, but what we've done is we've categorized, I've grouped it according to the program area in terms of some of the accomplishments, which I'll highlight a few of those. And I'm sorry, the font's a little small, so Kevin, could you just increase that a little bit? Okay, so the biggest thing, as you know, we now have a new resident services director, formerly our FSS coordinator, Brenda, and she's hit the ground running and have continued to sustain initiatives that have been successful prior to her taking on the role, the one being the farmers market, and that will continue. What some of the feedback we've gotten from the foundation is about things like college prep and other programs, and so we've started that process and had some level of engagement, and that will continue through the last 3 quarters of 2026. And you all know about the Shining Stars program, some other things that we're doing. So we feel very comfortable that we will have a very engaged year and very involved in with seeing outcomes that we all anticipate. The next being finance, we believe we will continue our track record of having no findings with the audit. Didn't sound like we were having any issues. The auditor has completed the initial on-site portion of that process. Didn't give me any feedback that there was any real concerns about such, so we expect that to be clean as it typically has been. So essentially, we just continue to move forward. We have fairly modest projections, and we've are looking like we will probably be on track in terms of what we expect to see from a fiscal standpoint in terms of revenue. So that's what we have there. Kevin, you can just move up the screen. So HR organizational development, as you know, the HR policy got approved, I think it was in last November. We made some changes. The personnel policy, we've worked on everything from sort of updating the job descriptions to, I think the biggest or most exciting part of that is we are doing the Clifton Strengths, formerly Strength Finders. Every year we've taken on a focus. Last year it was about emotional intelligence. This year is about Strength Finders and really leveraging our strengths. So the staff has participated initially in that process, the leadership as well, and you all have expressed an interest as well because those same conveners will be the ones conducting our leadership retreats, which I need to speak with you all about in terms of identifying a time frame. But we're just trying to tie all these things together as it relates to leveraging, again, the strength, our individual and collective strengths to make the organization even more functioning. So that's very exciting. We're going to be using the lunch and learns that we've been doing in previous years to also reinforce the idea of building on our strengths. Next being the, oh, I skipped it. Thank you. We closed on the Belmont, as you know. That was one of our projects, one of our tax credit projects, and we got $1.5 million, which we're happy about. We also received some funding from one of our early PFC projects in South Austin, south of the airport, the McKinney Falls or Kadena at the Falls project. We are continuing to work on those projects as they are coming to figure out what they need to do with their financing. We obviously had a lot of high expectations last year, which some were met with just an inability to secure financing, and we were hoping that this year will be a lot better, and things have already started off better than they were last year this time. So we're looking forward to seeing that. I will mention now, just President Brown and I have been talking. So there is an issue with some of the projects because there is a requirement for the county to have a notice to proceed within a certain time frame, and obviously four of them are up against that time frame, and we're trying to get that moved along or at least changed because projects aren't being not moved along because folks aren't interested. It's because of the financing typically and market conditions. So we're trying to encourage the county to at least alter that requirement or eliminate it, but there are reasons for it. I mean, the intent was for projects not to move forward. All well-intentioned, but of course, we didn't expect things to happen last year like they did and the market to be what it is. So we are trying to work through that process and may require some of you all's help, but that is an issue that President Brown's aware of, and we're trying to figure out the best way to encourage that to change. I'll say it that way. So that being said, obviously we're still working on new partnerships. I think every week I'm probably meeting with someone who has expressed an interest in these development deals, either tax credits or workforce housing deals. There is another component called equitable title, which is what we can do under the guise of the housing authority, which has some nuances, but there's been some expressed interest in using that tool to do development. More to come there, but we are sort of entertaining all interested persons and seeing how that comes about. But the real estate committee will be made aware of those things and go through our processes we typically do when those come around. But there has been expressed interest, a fair amount of it, quite frankly. So we feel pretty good about that. Okay, we can go to okay, thank you. And so the voucher program continues to thrive. I mean, there was the issue relative to the not being able to, the shortfall as Christina has articulated, and she may mention it a little later on, but we've been able to move forward with addressing that issue. As you know, there was the issue with the COC. There was a surprise NOFO that came out, and then we responded, and then they said no, we don't have to. And then there's another NOFO that came out, and we've completed that application, correct, Christina, and that has been submitted for the Continuum of Care grant. So things are moving. We did get a notice, as you all know, about the consideration of there being a work requirement for folks because we're an MTW agency. More to come there. Obviously, it's we need to explore what that might look like, but there are 3 options that were encouraged related to the program. And I haven't been able to talk to any counterparts about what folks are thinking or doing. The obvious thing is that it's right now it's just it's something that is being encouraged, but I don't know if anybody's doing anything just yet. So there are a couple organizations that have in place kind of a sunset provision, but moving to work in essence didn't mean that people were technically moving to work and moving off the program. It was more about encouraging folks to be more self-sufficient, which could mean it could ultimately mean obviously being off the program because you no longer qualify. So again, there's more to discuss there in terms of what might come about subsequently, but right now we're just being encouraged to think about how we might consider helping people move along, I guess I would say.
But I just want to clarify, it's not mandatory
No,
that we
ma'am.
adopt this rule.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but we want to tell them about the our NARO conference that
the response from the secretary. Okay, I could. So the secretary did speak at the NARO legislative conference in March, and wasn't met with a lot of fanfare, I guess I would say. But those same sentiments, as I'm articulating here, have been expressed by him in terms of what that looks like in terms of people being on the program, and I think all would suggest that there's obviously some things that could be improved. So more to come there, but let's just assume that if there is that is intent out there, then there will be more to follow as it relates to how we might be. There may be requirements that may be in place. I just don't know yet, but we'll just have to see. But I think, so just again, more to come there, but we'll keep you informed as it relates to that, and maybe we'll, if there's warrants a subsequent discussion on that specifically, we can certainly have that, but all we got was a notice, and I shared that with you all, so just so you know. Yeah, so we purged the waiting list, and again, we're just moving forward business as usual. So things seem fairly healthy there. And then as it relates to affordable housing, lastly, so we did a PCNA for one of our, for our Maynardtown property, and are kind of going through the process of identifying what the priorities are. As you all know, we've been doing a substantial rehab, which would be the only one of our in the portfolio that had not received that kind of level of attention. So obviously we're making our rounds, and now we're at Maynard doing that same work. what you'll see coming forward is expanded laundry facility on site, and we're doing some curb appeal enhancements. The buildings was painted, and if we will show you a before and after with the rehab work, which is phenomenal in my opinion. So the residents seem very happy with. They feel like they're at a new development. So we're very happy to hear and see that. So everything from they'll have raised gardens to a dog park even. So we're working on those things as we speak. But we are continuing to work with Carlton on issues related to recertifications and trying to mitigate circumstances related to delinquencies and ultimately evictions, if that's what it comes to. And so I have drafted a tentative incentive policy for such. I thought I'm going to sort of lean on some of our new and current members to try to figure out, to sort of vet that and see what we can come up with. But I do have a draft, and I'll have more discussion with you all about that. But we are working on such things. And then there's collectively, all of the affordable housing providers have been meeting every month, and we talk about these things. So everyone's interested in what everyone else is doing. So what we want to do is try to have a similar message in terms of how we approach things, and that's why we haven't moved forward just yet, because the implications of what we say will have a bearing on what maybe happens with other providers. So we want to make sure we're all like singing from the same sheet of music as it relates to tenant protections and all those things. So that's an update as far as the strategic plan goes. The next thing you look forward to is a retreat, ideally for you all June or July, and we can poll you to figure out what works. We're looking at maybe a 4-hour event, and maybe on a Thursday or Friday, if that works with you all. And we have the facilitator that I talked about that is convening us for the Clifton Strengths to do that, to facilitate that for us. So I think you all will enjoy that. We will talk about the strategic plan, talk about maybe some of what you all see in terms of opportunities for yourself as a commissioner, in addition to some of the expectations that you may want to articulate about the staff and what we're doing. So that'll be the next iteration of the strategic plan in terms of a reinforcement or highlight that, and then we'll continue on with our quarterly updates, as it were. So any questions? I know that was a lot, but.
Is there anything that you're looking for from us to, to help move some of the strategic plan items forward?
Yes and no. I think that'll be a large part of the discussion, hopefully in June. Right now, I think not specifically, but I think that'll be what we kind of figure out, like how can you leverage it. But I will say, just from the standpoint, just as a general statement, I think always the resources, particularly as it relates to resident services, I think is the one that I believe always could use more connections, and the ability to leverage partnerships, I think, is probably the area that we always could use more help with. Right now we've identified a couple organizations to do some empowerment. I think that one organization focuses on young women, and we're going to be meeting with them. So those kinds of partnerships, we obviously could always use more help as it relates to the work. But hopefully we'll have more discussion about what that might look like in policy. As far as housing policy, there's a myriad of things that I think we could potentially leverage you all to help with.
I had a question.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No worries. It's just a quick question. What's our fiscal year?
It follows a calendar.
Okay, so it's
Calendar
January
year,
5th.
January 1st to December 31st.
Well, June is kind of tight for me.
Okay.
So it'd probably be better for July if we could do it during that time frame. But I'm traveling most of the month of June. So,
Sure, we can find a time that works in July.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll send some dates out.
Anything further on the strategic plan update?
Unless you have.
No questions from me. I think it was a great update, and I'm glad to see the strategic plan in place and it being focused on, so I think that's a plus.
Thank you for all your hard work.
You're welcome.
And with that, we go to our CEO Executive Director's report.
Yeah, so we'll start with Christina. And Christina, just for Ms. Fareed, just maybe who you are and just a little bit about yourself, just briefly.
Absolutely. My name is Christina Diaz. I'm the director of the voucher programs and homeless initiatives. I have been with this agency for over 20 years. So I started as a housing specialist and now I'm here.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, so some areas of focus right now, some of this is already completed. We already completed our audit. Everything was fine on the voucher program side. We are, yes, the emergency housing vouchers. So you may not know, our emergency housing vouchers are being eliminated at the end of this year. The funding is completely going to be gone. So we're working with these emergency housing vouchers were for previously homeless people, and so we're working with our homeless community to find out where we're going to position these people. Right now, because of our shortfall, we're able to put them into the HCV program, but we're holding on to that EHB funding for a little bit longer to be able to finalize those transfers. So we're working with the ECHO community and seeing if they need to go anywhere else, because if they're high needs, and HCV doesn't have support services like that, we would need to maybe put them somewhere else in the community. So that's happening. We have currently, I believe it's 9 or 10 fraud cases that I am managing, and all of them are up to date on payment, which is nice. So that's been a little bit of a feat to get there.
Describe the fraud cases. What are you talking about?
So with this shortfall last year, when we got into shortfall in June and July, they HUD came out with it's already been in place, but they weren't making it mandatory. It's called something the income validation tool. And so that income validation tool shows all these people who have not reported their income due to a job or Social Security change. And so because we're MTW, we do not do changes on people that have an increase in their earnings if there was no decrease prior. With MTW, we want them to keep their money, we want them to save their money, and then we will adjust their income when they come in for the renewal process. So a lot of our cases on there, we had to really go in there really finely and make sure that we were addressing the ones that truly are fraud cases. They really did not come in and report it. There was a decrease before. They just were careless and didn't come in and report it. So we're having to, with the shortfall mandate, we had to go back and review those cases. So there's currently anywhere between $2,000 to I think $15,000 that is owed back to us. And then the clients come in, we put them on a contract for anywhere between 1 and 3 years, and then they have to pay that off. If they don't pay that off, they get terminated. Half of the funding that comes in comes to us. I believe that's correct, Super. We get to keep it, half of the funding, or half of the money that comes back, and the rest we have to give back to HUD. So
And how many cases did you
I
say?
think it's 9.
Okay, that's not.
9
Out of
10.
how many?
Out of 600, well, if we talk about the full scale of the program,
Yeah.
about 850.
Wow, okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's minuscule.
Yeah. So there's other processes that are coming to play with us. The team is now actively checking this every single month. We're all actively going through and looking at all these cases and together as a team, just to make sure some are not getting left out. Yes.
Is there, with the city building a couple of these homeless projects, are we able to access any of that, or what are we doing to
I'm not sure.
access?
There's a lot going on in the homeless world right now, which I'll talk about as well. I think there's a little piece, right? I'm not sure, but I know that we're all scrambling with the homeless population right now and the funding that's going to be taken away or cut 30% cap. So we're all scrambling, but we are meeting monthly to see where we can work together. So there's potential for possible more partnerships. I'm going to shift in a little bit to when we go to what we're doing right now with the COC, so you all know and are aware. But yeah, it's possible. I'm hopeful that we can get into bigger partnerships.
There are some entities out there that may be interested in doing it that have tracts of land, and so we may be able to,
for
churches and things of that nature that may be interested in trying to work with some of that if it's something we can do.
We're going to have to get creative as a community to address this issue.
The what?
We're going to have to get creative as a community to address the homeless issue.
Yeah.
So I got one question. This may be an elementary question, but I think it'll help me to understand this. Do we get involved with going into like the homeless encampments and talking
Yes.
to people? We do?
We do. There's a point in time count that happens every 2 years in the community, and we go in January. I think it's the third Saturday of January, and we go and we all of us volunteer, and there's times throughout the day from 3 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock noon. We go into these encampments and we offer services, offer coordinated entry, offer whatever it is. We usually have little care kits with us that we take.
But we don't lead it. We actually
We do not
participate.
lead it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we participate with another organization.
With our lead ECHO, or with our
Okay.
lead COC, which is ECHO.
Okay, okay,
They're the leaders.
Thank
They're the
you.
ones that have to initiate.
okay.
Ms. Diaz, I just have a follow-up question.
Yes.
So I think I heard you say the emergency program for
Yes,
homeless
emergency housing vouchers.
is being sunset by the end of the year?
Yes.
So does that mean it's sunset for any new
Yeah, it's
people,
going
or
away.
it's sunset period for everyone?
They did away with it.
Okay, so in your meetings with other homeless agencies, is there a statewide effort to see where funding can be brought in to replace some of this federal money that's going to go away?
Yeah, there is. It's just tough. There's about 12, there might be more agencies that all collectively get funding, and I believe it's about $8 million that was previously given to the community to distribute. Our portion is about 1.5. So it's going to be cut. So 30% of the overall is going to be cut. That's already been said by HUD. So there is a lot of talks about that. We just don't know right now. It's just uncertain. Yes, sir.
Could you, when NARO meets and they go to the Capitol and they're planning to do next year, that's something that we could maybe get with NARO to try to petition the governor
Yeah,
to
for
come
sure.
up with some of that money also.
Yeah, and those efforts are ongoing now. I mean,
Yeah.
NARO is legislate. Yeah, I mean that's, as you suggested, that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Or
they're
it needs to be more outspoken than that.
but
I'll talk
NARO
to
and FATA both are actually very much engaged in that process. It's just this is falling on deaf ears, I guess. If I say how else to say it. I mean, but there will be so. Just know changes will. I mean, we're being forced to think about how we approach these things differently. That's just the way it is. So communities, unfortunately, I mean, Austin, to some extent, Travis County at least is being progressive about what they've been doing. So obviously, they just approved the plan that you made reference to. So fortunately, we are in a community that is very much engaged in that, and so unlike some others, right? So these conversations are happening, and they are. Yeah, they're happening.
What's Gene's last name?
Reed.
Yeah. If you don't know, Gene Reed out of is it Odessa? Abilene heads up the legislative for NARO.
Texas NARO,
For
yeah.
Texas. And so if we can reach out to him and touch him, it may help.
We also have a lobbyist. NARO pays. We all collectively pay for a lobbyist. His name is Eric Grumer, and he's he was first just an educational consultant, but he's now a lobbyist for Texas NARO. So he's very active. And for those some went to Corpus last week, but they did do a legislative update as well to talk about some of these things. So we do have some decent resources in place. It's just where things are going.
Good question. Thank you.
I think the next, is it me? My next.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think that's it.
That's it.
You can go to the next slide. Kelly. It's the next program, I know.
Just COCOT?
Yeah.
Okay, I can just talk about it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if it was up there. So, to continue this conversation, so in December of 2025, you all know, but to give you some reference, we had a surprise no-vote. We, in 2024, were promised funding for 2025 and 2026. It was supposed to be a biannual funding, so 1.5 one year and 1.5 the next year, continued funding. In 2025, this HUD administration decided to
Cut it.
not do that. So they said, nope, you're going to compete for funding. So it was a 2-week scramble to get a grant application in, but I got it in. And then litigation happened, and HUD is currently still in litigation. And so what resulted from that, the federal injunction was to halt the reissued no-vote that they did. That was not okay. However, as we move forward, they're still continuing to push the agenda that they have in place. And I'm going to tell you what that agenda is real quick in a very summarized way. So currently, we as a community are able to serve chronically homeless individuals, and we, Housing Authority, serve chronically homeless individuals with a mental disability. So we partner with Integral Care. Integral Care provides in-kind support services, and it's just a good match. And it's been continuing since 1996 this way. HUD's new administration is stating that mental illness is no longer a disability, and we can no longer serve mental illness, and we have to change our priorities to serve 62 and over with a physical or developmental disability. That wipes out all our project. So that is what the HUD administration is intending to do as we move for competition for the 2027 year. That is what they're still going for. That is what they're still fighting in court right now. The other limitation here is that they're wanting us for our chronically homeless individuals, to have involuntary mandated treatment. We all know involuntary does not produce positive outcomes. There's lots of research out on that. And so what the ECHO community, the local COC Continuum, and all of us are asking for any of you that may have resources with Texas lawmakers is to reach out. I think we put this in there. Okay, we put something in there that gives a little bit more detail about what these implications are going to do for our community. It's going to completely just damage everything that we already have worked so hard for. Where we are now. So December that happened, the NOFO went away. We don't have a NOFO right now, but what we did as a community is we all submitted our grant applications again this week. Actually, it was due on Tuesday. We submitted it. We submitted it again to see where we will rank in a priority with that 30% cap. We want to see what that looks like so we can start planning for what we're going to have to change. We already know that we have to change the preferences and priorities. We're still going to serve mental illness to keep our project alive, but we are going to change it to serve all disabilities, no longer prioritize mental illness. So what that means for us is we do have to find other partnerships to be able to provide those support services to these type of disabilities. We have to do that to be able to be considered for this funding that's coming in 2027. And so that's where we are now. We just submitted it. We don't know what we're going to rank or how much funding is actually going to be cut from our project at this time. There's, because of our shortfall, is a little bit of a blessing. I have availability to switch some of our COC people, some of our homeless people into that. So we're looking to see who has been able to stabilize, maybe who has employment, who's able to live on their own, and be able to switch them into housing choice vouchers, not permanent supportive housing, because they're not going to have support services, but at least they'll still retain housing. We won't make them homeless. So that's where we are now, in a nutshell.
So is addiction considered a mental illness?
Yes.
It's not falling under other disabilities, even if they're over 62, which is the fastest growing population of homeless people in Austin and in Travis County.
And studies have shown that physical disabilities, mental disabilities are co-occurring. I mean, that's going to save us in being able to continue to serve a lot of our population because they have both, but it does eliminate a big portion.
Christina, do we have grant for somebody with the capabilities of doing a particular type grant to meet those needs?
Explain a little bit further. Sorry.
Somebody to write a grant, to submit for a grant that may be out.
Oh, well, it's already been submitted, so I mean, it's already submitted. It's done, but I don't know. Do we?
But I'm talking about other resources other than going through the federal government. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, so the core of that is the housing, right? So I mean, we're losing the ability to house those individuals. I mean, for the purposes of our broad population, I mean, we might be exploring some options to see. I think we did identify in one of the surveys for the strategic plan that folks had identified that they would like some intervention as it relates to some of those things. So as we're working on the work plan this year, we are looking at some opportunities that might serve the entire population of our 914 minus our COC folks, right? I mean, in terms of that. So yeah, we are exploring some options for that. I mean, but you know, funds are limited, but there are some foundations that do that work. So we will, you know, consider what might possibly be. It's just, in this case, we're still squarely talking about housing first as it relates to that, and that's what we're saying, these parameters.
That's that emergency thing
Yeah.
that's going on. They said it was going to happen today.
I think I had a heart attack.
So I thought I said something wrong.
Well, you know, is the Hall Foundation, they have some money?
Yeah, we'll have to go. I mean, we have that contact. We'll have to see and look and see. I mean, there's a lot. We have to figure out what the capacity and the bandwidth is and look at that. But that's on our list of things to consider, right, as it relates to that. It's just, again, the model said. Long story short, even when we are accommodating the folks because of HCV and the shortfall that gives us the ability to relocate or move them to another program, we're still talking about less people being housed, and that's the issue.
Right. How many people are we talking about? I mean, if that would be affected by this, what's the number?
My nerves.
Did not sign up for it.
Yeah.
The CSC program, we have to serve at least 74. However, we serve about 88 on average. So we have to serve at least 74 if we're paying the full amount of that payment standard. Some of our clients do work, and so we have that offset to be able to house a little bit more.
So about 88 people across all of our properties?
No, this is just for the homeless that we're serving.
Okay.
That's the total number of people we serve in Travis County that are homeless, 88.
That's in our grant, in our continuum of care grant.
Oh.
The Housing
I see.
Authority Travis County's COC grant.
Yes.
Okay.
We have other, we have a homeless partner, and we have the EHB clients, and we have stability vouchers. Those all also serve homeless, but the one with the grant that we're talking about that's going to
Got it.
be capped. Yeah.
And then, do we know how many veterans? Because
have-
the Department of Defense may have something.
We have a veteran program, a VASH program. And
Yeah.
We serve 30.
Okay,
Yeah.
The
That's our
VASH.
cap. Yeah.
VASH.
got it. Yeah.
And they're not giving anymore. We've been fighting
No.
for 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to have to
Yes.
catch Ms. Fareed up on the whole issue of why we can't get any more VASH
Yeah.
vouchers, but
We've asked and we don't.
yeah,
Yeah, basically what it amounts to is the people up in Temple and Waco don't want to do any more work. What they are, that's what it's about.
They look at it as a community. So we have the City of Boston Housing Authority and we have us. And
Yeah.
They look at it as a community. The City of Boston actually has 400 plus vouchers in the VASH program. And so they say that, okay, as a community, we're serving all the veterans.
Okay.
yeah. Call it functional zero, like everyone's being.
Yeah.
Your head is gonna blow up.
I won't ask any more questions.
No. It is.
We appreciate your questions. They're very good questions.
Yeah, it's a touchy.
I'm just trying to learn. I'm catch
It's a
up.
touchy
Meanwhile, I'm
subject.
delaying you guys. I'm sorry.
No problem.
No. It's
Any other concern, questions?
I don't think so. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll keep up.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, we'd like to move into affordable housing?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right, great.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So my name is Carlos Guzman. I'm the director for the affordable housing programs. I've been with the thank you. I've been with the Housing Authority for going on 6 years now. In December, I have Kim here with me. She is the regional manager with Carlton. They are the management company that oversees our portfolios.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Before we dive in, we're going to go slide by slide. I will be giving you guys updates on our capital improvement projects, and Kim will give you providing statistics on our property portfolio.
So Eastern Oaks, so as of today, Eastern Oaks is 100% occupied, 100% trend. We have 0 notice to vacates. Our total delinquency is 2,823. Those consist of, I have one resident that has a bigger balance. We're working with that resident. I'm going to go walk the unit just to make sure that they're still occupying the unit. And then on top of that, I have 6 residents with smaller balances that are equaling up to that 28, 23. Okay, that's it on the delinquency. Do you have any delinquency questions?
And just a quick update, so the delinquency that Kim is providing to you guys, I know it reflects a different number than what's being on the shown on the slides here. That is as of the 15th of each month. The delinquency numbers that she's giving you is at the end of the month.
Yes.
And that'll be for all properties going forward.
And just quickly, what percent is that of the total units, the delinquency? Do you know? If not, don't worry about it.
I do not. Off the
Okay.
top of my head, yes. And I'll add that to, going forward, I will have that.
Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate it.
Any questions on delinquency?
I don't think so.
Okay. Go ahead. and do
Service
that.
request, yeah.
Okay. So we also had 14 service requests for the month. The appliance category, we had 3. 2 were garbage disposals that were clogged or needed to be reset. 1, the refrigerator, we replaced the filter in the refrigerator. Doors and locks, we had 4. 2 mailbox keys, interior door handle replacement, and a door adjustment. So it would close. General was to be put on the pest control list. We had 4 in the heating and cooling. 2 of them were for filter change and 2 were thermostats. I think we replaced 1 and fixed the other one. Plumbing and bath is there's 2 of those. 1, we replaced a towel bar, and then we replaced a tub stopper in the other. And that was our work orders for the month.
But all services have been completed.
Oh, yes, yes.
Do you guys have any questions regarding the service requests? Awesome. So I'll just brief by exception here with the capital improvement projects that it's ongoing for Alexander Summit and Eastern Oaks, just so that I don't sound repetitive when those slides do come up. We obtained a bid for the gutter replacement, the full gutter replacement. The prices are ranging between $26,000 to $50,000. So we're going to be taking a second assessment, going out to the properties and then gathering more pictures, better detailed scope of works to seeing if we actually, in fact, need the full gutter replacements on all 3 properties, and if not, we'll just assess those that are actually damaged instead. But that'll be for Alexander Summit and Eastern Oaks.
And how many bids do you normally get when
3.
you're 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then what's the criteria generally that you apply to select your vendor?
So we go with the lowest, most responsive bid
Got
that we
it.
receive, and then we move from there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Guzman. I appreciate it.
That's a big gap, 26 to 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's between all 3 properties. So the lowest bid that we received was $26,000. Let's say, if I'm not mistaken, was for Eastern Oaks, and then the highest would be Alexander, since we have more units there, 51 units. So that's why you're seeing that huge difference there.
Okay, so the total cost for all 3 units?
So the total ranges between 75 to 120, if I'm not mistaken, roughly around there, between that range for all 3 sites.
I'm sorry, forgive me, but I don't remember the total number of units for those 3 sites.
Yeah, so we have
I'm trying to figure out what the per door
yeah.
cost would
Okay.
be.
Yeah, so we have 75 for Alexander and Summit. That's a combined, even though they are separated, but it is a combined contract that we have with HUD. And then we have 30 units over at Eastern Oaks.
Okay.
And is some of the gap in the bids because some of the bids weren't for all the gutters? Is that what you're trying to reassess?
Oh, sorry, no. So this is for the full gutter replacement on all units entirely, right? So we're going out there, taking a deeper dive rather than doing a full gutter replacement. We're going to assess each unit and seeing if it actually requires for the entire full gutter replacement, or if it's only certain damaged areas instead. So instead of spending close to over $100,000 for all 3 sites, probably reduce that cost down.
Is
as
any
well.
of that hail damage?
No.
Just wear and tear, old age?
Yeah, well, there is I know with the name Oaks, there's a lot of trees that are out there as well, a lot of tree branches that have been falling. So that'll be something that we will be addressing down the line as well. On a yearly basis, all of the trees will be dealing with the landscapers just to make sure and trim them down so that it doesn't happen in the future as well.
Well, I think that's the most economical way to look at it, to see if it's needed
Yes.
and where it's needed versus just a blanket statement of we're going to take it all down and replace everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So, I think that's the best way to go.
Yes, ma'am. Any additional questions? Go ahead.
I'm just curious, do
It's
you
okay.
have any kind of a percentage? And again, I'm new, so
Yeah.
forgive me
Yeah.
for asking
Okay.
questions that
No
may be
worries.
redundant to the
No.
other commissioners.
Yeah.
Is there a percentage of your pro forma, of your revenue, that you dedicate to capital improvements? And do you have a reserve in place to do those things?
So we do have a replacement reserves for those types of capital improvement projects. We've already verified with HUD as well, and that is something that they can reimburse us back as long as we follow the proper procedures. Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good question. Anything else on Eastern Oaks?
Thank you.
Keep in mind that we still have some funds that we can allocate if there's a big deficit in.
They do.
We'll get it coming out of your pocket.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're referring to? Okay. Let me go get my checkbook. Right. We're just trying to be mindful about costs going forward. I don't think we envisioned it costing that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to know why we're going back and looking at the numbers. But
think that's a smart
I think
thing to
in
do.
retrospect, I think some of the work that was done probably could have been done better. As it relates to the gutters, quite frankly. So debris falling in those, we didn't have the covers, to cover those. So it's taken on, the lifespan of those was shortened greatly because of probably what we did not do when we did the rehab work, if you want to know the truth. So, going forward, we need to make sure that we get what's a common, ensure that the quality of the work doesn't put us in a situation 8 years after we've rehabbed the units and we're replacing the gutters already.
It wouldn't hurt if they use a hardy plank too on the outside.
That is all, in retrospect, all kinds of areas, but of course you're doing value engineering and you think gutters aren't really that important and you lowball it. That's...
So one of the things that I don't know if we have hired like a third-party quality control company to actually come out and inspect the work before we pay the subcontractor or the contractor that's doing the work. Because I think, if you don't have quality control in place, then, given that construction isn't something that we do daily, we may miss some things that we, that we're not familiar with. And I think just having, it's not terribly expensive to have a third-party quality control. Like, once the work is done,
Yeah.
you have somebody come in, look
Verify.
at it. Because the one thing that happens is, for this type of work, you really don't have a city inspector to inspect it,
Right.
right? And so, we kind of leave it up to us
Yeah.
and our understanding of what we look at, but someone that does this daily will probably see something that we won't see.
Okay.
So it's just something to consider if we don't have that.
Agreed. And I think at the time when we did the rehab work, we did have some internal people in the house that, in theory, had the capacity to do some of that. I just think that it was something that we, like I said, decided to lower costs, and this is one of the things that probably wasn't high up on the list, and now we're addressing it. But to your point, yes, all of our major capital improvements, in most cases we do have a third party looking at that work, before part of that is the work of the architect and the engineer, to do some of that, but also with the large scale projects. Fortunately, we don't anticipate there being a lot of that, because we've done a lot of significant amount of work. But rest assured, whatever work we perform, it won't be done in a vacuum as it relates to some of what we're talking about.
Right. And let me just say this, that from an architect and an engineer perspective, they are not a non-biased resource. They're going to be looking out for their interests.
Sure, yeah. Mhm.
Right? And I'm
Yep.
saying that my recommendation is to get a third party that's not tied to
Yes.
the design, not tied to the engineering, that can really look at it and inspect it with a non-biased eye.
Yes.
That's my point.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So we did it after the fact with Rosemont, so we need to make sure that, we're doing it as it's.
Yeah, again, I'm saying we did $10 million worth of work 8 years ago, and we had significant involvement, so correct, you're correct. It's just, that needs to happen.
We'll move on to Summit Oaks.
Summit Oaks is 92% occupied, 96% leased. We have 2 vacant unleased units. Our total delinquency is $5,038, which is different from this. Our current is $2,474. 30-day is $1,671, and 60-day is $893. And those that total delinquency consists of 4 full rents, which are also carrying into that 30 and 60-day. And then we have 8 residents that have just smaller balances that's equaling up to those. And we're working diligently to reach out to the residents and do what we need to do with those. And they're responsive, so we'll be setting payment plans and that type of thing to get that down. On our work orders, we had 5 total work orders for the month. One of the appliances, we had 3. We had to, we had to adjust a dishwasher door and a dishwasher replacement, and then we had a refrigerator leak, which was repaired. Electrical was 1. We had to replace a GFCI. And general was repair a bent screen that fell off. So we repaired the framing of it, and those 5 have all been completed since then.
Any questions? Awesome. Move on to Alexander Oaks.
Alexander Oaks, we are currently 94% occupied, 96% leased, 3 vacant units. We have 1 applicant on one of them. Our total delinquency as of today is $19,937. My current is $6,291. My 30 is $44,102, and my 60 to 90 is $9,544. I've been working diligently on the delinquency, have brought it down a little bit each month. I do have 4 residents that have now became non-responsive. So our process, just to kind of go into a little bit of depth, when we're recertifying somebody, we send a 120-day notice, a 90-day, 60-day, 30-day, and then the final notice is a 10-day. If they do not respond and come into recert on that 10th day, on the 11th day, they are terminated from the program. So during this period of time, we're updating and reaching out, sending additional notices, because then we've got our rent notices that go with that. When we're sending our 30-day rent notices, we're including a packet that consists of probably 20 or more different organizations to help assist. We put little reminders on the doors, we call, we email. Of these 4, one failed to, we have an eviction hold-off agreement, which is a payment plan. One failed to meet the payment plan. And then one, the rest of them just kind of failed their research, for just being completely unresponsive. The total of those 4 is $11,607. So during that process, when they don't recertify, they go to max rent, they go to market rent. So any subsidy that they were receiving prior, which could be $500, is now backdated from that initial, and it's added to the resident ledger. So sometimes when you see a resident that may have a $500 balance and they're terminated from the program, that will increase, that could jump up to whatever it may be, $1,500, $2,000. So that's kind of where those larger balances are coming in kind of suddenly. So I am working on that. So those are possible evictions. We do have a pending wait list. We'll have an issue there. But before any of that happens, those files are sent over to HATC for review. And then they, give us yay, nay, or the okay on those. So just kind of wanted to go into a little bit of detail on, I know we say we exhaust all of our avenues, so I just kind of wanted to go into a little bit more depth of what we do in that little period that we're trying to, work with the residents, educate them, help them, assist them. We are learning that a lot of our resources have no assistance. So there's 0 funds. So we're also running into that. So at this point, and their balances are higher, so it's really, really hard for them just to catch up because they're already,
So explain to me again why it jumped up by $500. I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, you're fine. So when we have a residence on a subsidy program.
Right.
So say our market rent is $1,000. It's not, but just say.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're paying $500. That's their portion. And then subsidy is picking up $500.
Right.
Right? If they fail to recertify, because we do an annual recertification.
It's mandatory to recertify every year.
Every annual, yes.
And
yes,
that's
ma'am.
the income to make sure they're still at the
Yes, ma'am.
threshold or below.
Yes, ma'am, because they have to bring in all their documents. It's like starting all over, and their income is reevaluated.
Okay.
If they fail to do that, that market rent is switched from subsidy, yes,
To
resident.
market value.
Yes, ma'am.
So now they're backed up.
Yes, ma'am.
And if they don't remedy this, it adds up and it keeps building up and they can't catch up.
Yes, ma'am.
And then how long do you start eviction procedures?
So on our 11th day, because we're required to give those notices, and on our 11th day, if they have not worked with us, or so if we can get them to come in and recertify,
Okay.
then we can put them back onto the program and recoup some of those funds. But if they don't come in, then,
Gotcha.
I mean, we can't. There's nothing we can do.
Yes, ma'am.
So we just kind of follow that process. So on that 11th day, then we terminate the program, and then but every month, if they have a balance on their resident account, we send them 30-day notices,
Okay.
reminding them, hey, you know. That way, if we do need to go to eviction, we're following that process of the 30-day notice, because that is where we're at right now.
But at
that we're
that point,
required.
isn't it now 120 days plus the 11th day?
It can be, yes,
So
yes.
that's what it,
So you go to 120?
yeah.
We
Like
start
that's-
we start at 120,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then we do 90, 60, 30, 10. 'Cause
Well,
we're trying to-
let me just clarify. So what she means by the 120 is, if your certification is due in December, 4 months prior, you're going to start that process of trying to collect the data so that you have ample time to ensure that you comply with the recertification. That's the 120 she's making reference to. As it relates to the evictions, we've been very amenable to folks going beyond what would be typically what you would do in a case of evicting someone. So in excess of 90 days that we've been allowing some folks to carry balances. So that is accounting for some of these large balances that people have been amassing for several months now. So and I think the sentiment was we didn't want to evict anyone, and so we're trying to figure out any means necessary. But we're at the point now where we're having to go back and figure out, there's no way to really remedy some of these situations. So in an ideal world, after 90 days or so, people would be compliant or on a program for repayment or find some means of getting the resources. But we haven't been consistent about the specific dates for eviction. We've just been kind of hopeful because it hadn't been always a problem. And in this case, particularly at this site, there's been challenges. So we're trying to figure out a way to address the issue, so that it won't continue because it's become a challenge. And I think that what we try to underscore is it's really important to recertify because we don't get the subsidy when you don't recertify.
Right.
So you're forced to be a market rate renter and pay an excessive amount, which obviously makes you rent burden because the reason why you're on the program is because your income's low and we don't want that. So now you're in a situation that is almost no win. And if you're relying on all these other resources that may or may not be available, then we're now in another situation. So we have these challenges that we're going to try to figure out something specifically to address those so we can maybe reset and continue to move forward. But it perpetuates.
Yeah. I get it.
It
Once they
becomes
fall
quite
behind,
an issue.
It's very difficult to catch up.
It is.
But how many of those families have children then, if they get evicted?
I'm not sure on these particular ones.
Well, just know this is a family site with
Yes,
the
it's
largest
family.
number of units. I mean, we only have 4 bedrooms here and not anywhere else. So stand to reason that most of them are families with children.
And that's why we also try to wait till like that 10th day or that 1 to 10 days. We really try to knock on doors and just get them because if we can still save them. I mean, we can still.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it
And
requires
resources
participation.
are running out too.
it does. And it's
throughout the-
frustrating because their rent could be, I mean, even if they came in to recertify, their income could be even lower depending on their income. So, I don't know if they're.
Ashamed
Sometimes
or
I
nervous.
wonder if maybe they got more income, so they just avoid the whole situation of the rent going up. I've actually seen that before, but these individuals, I just don't know because they don't want to report it because
Yeah.
then they would be over income and it's a whole nother, So, but I mean, either way, if their rent went up 100, I mean, they're still on that program and receiving those funds.
As
So-
long as we could remain consistent
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the process that we're using, 4 months out, 120 days.
We definitely
90
do that.
days,
Yes,
60
ma'am.
days. I mean, there's only so much we can do.
I know.
It requires participation.
I know, and it's
Right.
very frustrating to us too because we definitely, especially families, we don't want to.
It's your expertise.
Because once we go file that eviction's on their record. So, when they go to rent somewhere else, they're going to have that eviction on their record. And a lot of people
Yeah.
don't do second chance or anything like that.
It's a downhill
Yeah.
process once you're.
Yeah, and then, here we are adding to the homeless and it's, yeah.
Is
What
there
I
a
will
letter
s-
being left at the door or something of those people that are not being responsive?
Yes, I mean, we are going above and beyond.
They do.
Yeah.
Red flag on the door.
I actually, and I kind of got I put red paper out.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of them get mad at me because, red flag always means bad. So, but yeah, I even red flag it. We tape it on the inside of
The screen.
the door, so you can't miss it because when you shut your door, it's right there. So we just, yeah.
I'm wondering if like a community or like a neighbor recruited to talk to folks, so it's not, it's
It's
a
not
peer.
management, right.
It's not
It's not
management,
me
and they
coming
don't
after you.
feel like, because I know there's a lot of shame and,
Yeah.
whatever that comes with all of this, but I'm wondering if a neighbor can be recruited to speak to them, like an ambassador in a community that would represent their well-being, actually, to let them know. I don't know,
I mean,
it just breaks my
It could
heart.
be, but then you kind of get into some
Yeah,
technical, like maybe crossing the line of some fair housing
can.
and, business of others.
This
And,
type is
this
touchy.
neighbor's going to go talk to this neighbor, and because they all talk. They all talk.
Mm-hmm.
Learn that one too.
We're supposed to
Yeah.
know my business.
okay,
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
tough out there.
okay.
I serve on the committee, and we run out of money every year, early. This year, we're getting close to it.
And, I mean, if residents come and talk to us and show, something, I mean, we'll definitely work with them. But when you're just not, you just shut down, I mean, we're to the point we don't have an option.
I will say that the 120-day notices, the knocking on the door, that's more than I've ever seen before.
Yeah. It's
From
normally like
a
at
landlord.
night. Yeah.
Including affordable landlords. I know that my experience isn't in supportive services and vouchers. My experience was in independent living, but that is still more than you're required to do.
I think, I've done 120. I've been doing this for 28 years.
Right.
And I think I remember years and years ago, we used to do 90, so it might be a 90-day that's required.
I think that's
I don't even know
true,
what that is,
but-
honestly, but I've always done 120, even in conventional deals. I've
Yeah.
always done 120 days for renewals.
Yeah, no, I mean, I will say that I think that y'all really are trying to put in the work and
Yes, ma'am.
get them to respond. So thank you for that, and we will continue to.
But the problem with me is that we're at 22,000 plus now. And at some point,
It's time.
it's time.
Yeah, we were able to drop it down to 19,000, and like Ken mentioned earlier, with those 4 completely unresponsive tenants, they're going to reassess them. They're going to gather all the documentation, send them over to us to review before proceeding to, let's say, eviction processes, right? So that'll be going forward with all the properties the exact same way. We're going to have Carlton go above and beyond, knock doors, just making sure that there's no actual skips, right? Potentially those things could happen. And then just move from there. While we review the file, then we'll go through the eviction procedures, right? And if need be, we'll have our legal department review it prior to actually going to court.
So I do have a question.
Sam.
Some time ago, we had issues with tenants questioning like their payments and saying that our records were not accurate. And are we having those issues? Still having those issues?
We have
Has
went
it been-
through all the ledgers.
Okay.
I do have a couple that just kind of come back and say, and some of them might be right, some of them might not. They're just, time. But we do have some, I do have some income changes that I do need to make, so it's going to adjust it a little bit, but it's not going to adjust it a lot. So income changes means if they lost their job, they bring us the document. Well, we send the employer documentation, and they sign off on that. And at that point, when they lost their job, that next month we do the income change, put it in the system, and they have 0 rent. So that's again with this recertification, it's so important. So if their income increases, then we submit it, and their income calculations may be where their rent is maybe $100 more, or whatever it might be.
So there are a couple of residents out there that are disputing it, which is something that Kim and the team are addressing. Some of those interim certifications that you alluded to, they will be addressing, and some of that delinquency, you will see a reflection, but it might not be a huge reflection that you'll see it, so it might not even go down that much either. Regardless, they are working on those interim certifications, and those are, just to catch you up a little bit more, only pertain to Alexander Summit and Eastern Oaks, just because they do participate in the RAD program with PBRA. Yeah, but it's not a requirement for the other 3 sites, which is Carson, Maynard 1, Maynard 2.
So can we just have in your next report, like, issues like that?
Sure.
So that, you know, if the complaint comes to us, that we are aware that this is something that, you know, that you all are looking at. I mean, it would help if there are no surprises to us, right? You
Yeah.
know, and I think
So
that-
essentially, you're talking about ledger discrepancies.
Yes,
more, and so we can
yeah.
use that as a topic, add that to the report.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
that-
we'll make sure.
wouldn't that have to be done in executive session?
No, no, it'll just be it'll be numbers.
Numbers,
It won't be.
Yeah, I don't want
it won't-
individuals.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be.
I don't want individual names
Yeah, it
or
won't be,
anything like that. But, you know, because what happens
Sure.
is, you know, you have, if someone comes and they say they want to speak to us, we've not heard anything about it,
You're right.
right?
That makes sense.
You
Yes.
know, so
Because
I
you're
just
hearing
think that
them
just
say-
awareness
Yeah.
for us makes a difference.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
Right, and it helps us to be able to say, this is what we're doing. You know, we're aware of it. These are the actions that are being taken, and
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll make sure to include it on the next month's report.
thanks.
Now, given the importance of the recertification, the annual recertification, during the orientation, is there an orientation, number one, that the residents receive, or some sort of disclosure that lets them know the value and the importance, the critical
Yes.
importance of the recertification and how it impacts the rent and so on? So initially, there's a disclosure. So if they don't actually live up to their responsibility in terms of showing up and getting recertified every year, they already signed a disclosure that says some sort of, if you don't do this, you know, you're maybe at risk of losing the subsidy or getting evicted even if you can't catch up on rent or whatever. And is that something that is legal for us to do, or we can do?
Yes, actually, that is something that that is done at the beginning. Let's
Okay.
say for initial move-ins, right? Even at recertification, we'll let them know with that recertification notice. That's the initial notice that they typically receive once it's completed. That they do have requirements, right, to be able to participate in the program, which is one, you know, coming into the office and reporting whether your income increases or if it decreases. Sorry, but yes, those are
Okay,
some of the
great.
forms that we have in
There's
place.
a
Yes.
signed document?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay.
To your point, though, I mean, obviously, a lot of these people aren't new, so, I mean, it's been a while, right? But at the recertification, obviously, there is what they read to the individuals, you know what I mean, as they're doing their recert. However, I mean, the point about continual education about the importance of it is something that could be done, you know, at every town hall meeting, you know, those kinds of things. So we certainly can try to figure out other ways to help underscore the importance of doing it and what the implications of not doing it are, and not assume that, you know, they should know and understand. I do think that, as Kim alluded to, sometimes if your income is increased, you don't want to report it, and so. But of course, the snowball effect of not doing a recert makes it even worse, right? And so, what is worse, you know, adjustment of a few dollars or doing the recertification? So, we just need to continually work on trying to change people's minds about why they need to comply, and so that's just something that can be worked on, and we'll just continue to try to figure out other ways of making sure that we reinforce that message.
And that's another reason too, I believe we started the 120-day notice,
Sure.
just to kind of get it out there. that in advance. Hey, you got this coming up, and then the reminder of the 90 and the 60. And whether they read those, I don't know, but
As long as we do our due diligence.
right,
Yeah, you
right.
can't control another person, but you
Right.
can control your organization.
And even if the children, take them off the doors or whatever, we're still sending, 4 or 5 different other, and emails and, phone calls and that type of thing. So it's not just a letter thing, or a notice, I should say. So,
Thank you.
of course.
Appreciate
Yeah.
all your work.
So, work orders. So we had 24 work orders for Alexander. So we had 8 appliances. 3 of those were to clean up the dryer exhaust vent. 2 were microwaves needed to be replaced, and 2 refrigerators replaced, and 1 we needed to unclog a disposal. Those have been completed. Doors and locks, we needed to make a mailbox key. We changed the front door, gate key, and adjust the screen door. It was dragging. Flooring or electrical lighting, we had 2 light bulb replacements. Flooring, we repaired a loose tile. General, we did some fence repairs around the perimeter. Did those repairs and painted as well. HVAC, we had replaced 2 filters. Plumbing and bath, we replaced a toilet paper holder, a clogged sink, and then we replaced a tub spout. That's what we did.
Thank you. Any other questions on Alexander Oaks?
Awesome. We'll move on to Carson Creek.
So Carson Creek, we're 94% occupied, 94% leased. We do have, or trending, I'm sorry. We have 1 vacant unit. My total delinquent there is 1,538. Current is 865, and 30 days is 673. I have 1 resident there that is got the larger of the balance, which is the one rolling into the 30 days. And then I have 1 other resident with a small balance of $65. So we're in contact with that resident, trying to work through some details before, it gets any further or any more built up to any more money. So, any questions on?
Did we have any service requests?
Oh, I'm sorry. Service requests, we had 14. Let's see. So the appliances, we cleaned the dryer exhaust. We had a ceiling fan that was off balance, so they adjusted that. We had to replace the microwave. Disposal, we had to reset the disposal, and then we changed out blades on another ceiling fan because it was wobbling. Doors and locks, we had 3. We replaced a door handle, replaced a broken window, and then an exterior door we had to work on it because it was hard to close and open, so we had to adjust that door. General was touch-up, we supplied touch-up paint for a resident. Heating and cooling was replace a fuse. And then plumbing, we had to unclog a shower drain, replace a toilet seat, and we had a sink leak.
How much education are we doing for these? I've consistently heard
Clogging.
clogged drains and things of that nature.
So if we start seeing a lot of clogs, because we get 1 clog here and it's going to affect 3 and 3 or whatever. So we try to send out little notices, just reminders, and it doesn't just consist of clogs. It consists of your heating. We're trying to educate the residents and pushing the reset button below on the the garbage disposal, because that's a lot of those. So we are working to educate. So we do randomly kind of send out notices, and it's also in our community policies. And then we've also starting to talk about that. I think they have discussed it before in the town hall meetings. Agree. This is what goes down garbage disposals. This, if it gets clogged,
Wherever you're seeing high points in that each month consistently. I would encourage you to do that at town hall meetings and just update people. You got to take the lint out of the dryer. Clean it.
Right, and right now too, it's like, it's the humidity. So a lot of times the humidity it sticks to the exhaust. So I think that's why we're having those right now, is because there's a lot of humidity and the lint is sticking. But yes, they do need to clean up their dryer vents, for sure.
So I have to, this is something that blows me away. Why are we changing light bulbs? That's usage.
It is. That's something that's been uniform since I came in. I know that that's possibly, or we could change, I guess, maybe something more internal to where it is the tenant's responsibility to swap out those light bulbs, but we've done it since day one.
Well,
so.
I think that was designed primarily for the seniors and things of that nature,
Okay.
not so much for the able-bodied person, but you don't want a senior climbing up on a ladder or getting in a chair,
Right.
changing out a light bulb. So,
Right.
I would just maybe modify it, not end it, but modify it.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, you're right, is holdover. Our agency was always doing it. I think the goal was to promote energy efficiency, and typically folks were not using the most energy efficient light bulbs, so we started providing those, and it's just been something that they've been doing for a while to keep down costs. But they will buy the cheapest,
But don't they pay their utilities?
They do, but we would like their utilities to be, yes, they do. So
I'm just,
No, to your point,
It
of
is
course,
baffling.
yeah.
I'm just baffled by the fact that,
We're full service here. We do everything.
That was originally what he's saying.
yours.
Yes.
Yeah, we just.
Yeah.
It's. You don't have to. That's.
Yeah, that's originally the plan. was
Yeah,
to do
it just.
during that time.
I think
Like I said,
traditionally
we
that's
just
just what's been happening.
modified
but
to a
There's
degree.
not a.
You can still provide it to them.
We could, and they could
let
install
them do it.
them.
You know?
Well, and I think that there's a small exception to that in that Carson Creek, I feel like everything is so new that if a light bulb goes out, maybe there was something wrong with that light bulb is more
Right.
the concern with something that's been turned over. so recently.
I guess I'm just blown away by that. And then I'm also blown away by if they lose the plug to a tub, it was provided.
So we do provide those items, right? But now some of them that are, let's say, out of normal wear and tear, that is a cost that will be added onto their ledger. So normal items that are outside of normal wear and tear, that is the tenant's responsibility to pay for those items, right? So we should be giving them, let's say, a specific amount of time to either replace it on themselves, but if they don't, they can let us know, and then we'll replace it, but add an additional cost onto
I
their
was just
ledger for those
curious.
types of things, right?
Yeah,
Now, if-
microwaves. Microwaves. I've only had 2 in 20 years.
Yeah.
This is all just
No, I
just
Yeah,
understanding the logic
Of
behind
course.
it.
Yeah, no, and sometimes they do request it, like let's say per se as a light bulb, right? Let's say at Maynardtown as an example, right? Those are just high ceilings and they're not able to do that themselves.
Yeah. Right,
So
that-
tenants definitely would be able to request, hey, I need help because I cannot reach it by itself. So we'll have to place
Yeah,
some
yeah,
work order
yeah.
to get those in, right? As far as an example like that. But yes, anything that's outside of normal wear and tear, that is something, an additional cost that'll be on the tenant, not on us. That we can go ahead and replace it for them, or if they're not able to do it themselves, then we'll replace it, but again, add that additional cost onto their ledger.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
didn't understand it. So, but
Yeah, no
thank you for the
Light bulbs kind of
explanation.
came out, because when the LED stuff started coming
Yeah,
out in
that's like- that's
energy, that's kind of when that
That's when, yeah.
started being a thing for us.
That's correct. That's what she's saying. The energy efficient lights, folks weren't using them. We were trying to promote energy efficiency. So we were, in one case, we did get a weatherization grant to do some upgrades of our like toilets and sinks and other things, refrigerators to some degree, but the light bulbs has just traditionally been something that we're trying to promote. We were getting them free, that sort of thing, and then we just were installing them. So, obviously, in the relative scheme of things, that's something could discontinue, right? I mean, if we felt like it was something, you know, I mean, we didn't want to do, but that's where that comes from.
That doesn't sound like it's a heavy lift, but I was just.
Yes, that's
Right, it's-
that's where it stems from.
Yeah.
The promotion of energy efficiency, so from years past, and that's why it's still traditionally what we've been doing. Aside from the fact that folks sometimes need assistance,
Madam
and
Chair, we've got
have
to
just
move on.
eliminated that as an issue by doing it.
I can appreciate that. I want to make sure everyone has their questions answered then.
But we're-
Any other questions on Carson Creek?
So, in Maynard Town, we are 88% occupied, 94% leased. We have 4 vacant units. 2 of those are leased. I do believe we have an application on another one. It's just not in my system yet, so I do not count it until it's in my system. Total delinquency there is $3,032. Current is $2,877. 30 days is 155. I have one resident that is causing the majority of that. He's about 3 months behind, and his rent is, I believe, $588 a month, or I think that's it. He is struggling. He had been sick, so he's struggling a little bit. We've been working to try to get him assistance through different programs, but everybody's out of funding. So at some point, I will speak with Hatsy on how we want to do this. He's an elder, so we'll kind of see where we're going to go with that one.
This is just April. You're out of funding.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's tough.
And I think we heard about these capital improvements a little bit in the strategic
Yes.
plan update, but I
Yes.
guess, is there anything new this month that you wanted to speak to?
You know, we were planning on doing the restriping over at Maynardtown 1. Now, unfortunately, there's just been quite a bit of shifting there in the land. I know we keep repeating this multiple times over and over again, but they advised us rather to, I guess, fix some asphalt there prior to us restriping it so that we're not, for lack of a better term, doing the work over and over again, right? And so we're going to be gathering bids for the asphalt to be completed at Maynardtown 1 rather than at Maynardtown 2. As we're completing all the other projects there, like the landscaping, the interior renovations, and the laundry facilities. With the landscaping, we did complete already some shrubs as well as some trees over at Maynardtown 2. We're on temporary hold until we get the new laundry facility working. We did ask a company to provide a property survey that the architect requested. We're waiting for that survey to be delivered to us. We're hoping that we receive it no later than tomorrow. At least that's what the consultant told us. The unit interior renovations, we have actually walked 18 of the 22 currently occupied units. We'll be walking the next 8 units, if I'm not mistaken, today, and if not, at latest tomorrow, so that we can have a better idea of how we're going to tackle them.
So moving on to work orders. We had 12 total work orders. Dishwasher was making a noise. We have fixed that. The stove lights were not working. We repaired that. Doors and locks, we had 3. We made 2 extra keys and then programmed a fob. Electrical and lighting, ceiling fan bulb and patio light bulb was out. We replaced those. General was a repair to a cabinet door. The cabinet door was kind of coming off, so they rehinged it. Plumbing and bath, we replaced a faucet, and then we had a clogged drain and repairs to sink repairs instead of replacing, and then a shower faucet we had to replace for those, and those have all been completed already.
Any questions on Maynardtown? Maynardtown 2?
Maynardtown 2, we are currently 95% occupied, 95% trend. We have 1 vacant unit. I do have an application on that, but again, it's not in the system. My total delinquency is $3,936. My current is 2,468. My 30 is 824. My 60 is 644. I have one unit that I have two units. One of them he is behind, and the other gentleman has been in the hospital. So his son is stepping in to try to assist him. Again, we've exhausted the different places for assistance. One of those was an NSF, two of those are on payment plans, and then the rest are smaller balances from late fees or keys or whatever it might be. We charge $5 a key to make new keys. And so that's what those small balances are. We had 0 work orders for the month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm sure we're going to get a ton in the next month. They saved them for us, so yes. So
Any questions from the board on Raider 2?
It's about a
Sorry,
year and a
Carlos.
half.
No, I was just going to ask if you guys had any questions regarding any of them. Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much. Appreciate it.
Mr. Howard, I do have one question. When is our contract with Carlton renewed, up for renewal?
So we're on a month-to-month contract, so at any point we could terminate or continue the contract. However, because it's been 3 years, which was, sorry, just because I turned my phone back on.
They turned it on
But I
for
was
you.
safe. So we are actually in discussions right now, the attorney and I and Carlos, to look at the contract, look at some other contracts of Carlton's and other organizations to try to figure out what the best practice is in terms of the language and some of the requirements, because I think, I'm going to say we rushed into the contract previously, but not having done a third-party contract before, there were probably things that should have been included and weren't, so we want to try to fix that. So that's what we're in the process of looking at that now. So we're in discussions, but at any point we could consummate a new contract or terminate the existing one, because we are in a sort of after the first year, it was just a month to month.
Okay. I just want to make sure, we had a discussion before that we were going to add some language that we can provide input into,
Yes,
them.
that is correct.
Yeah, so,
Oh, yes, we will, it'll be vetted. I mean, again, I think in retrospect, I mean, we were directed to do so, and it felt like, we needed to move forward in the way that it was, and it was sort of standard language, but I think there were a lot of things not taken into consideration, on both sides. So we will certainly engage you all in that process too when we get to a point where we have produced a new draft.
okay, great, thank you.
Thank you guys.
thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the HATC and TCFC finance reports for the period ending February 28th, 2026.
Yeah, good morning.
morning.
My name is Subran Narayan Nair. I'm the finance director for the Housing Authority. I've been with the Housing Authority for 7 years, and before that, I was worked for another housing authority for 25 years. So, I emailed the financials for period ending February, end of February. So, you all would have received it by email. In February, we also, in a couple of weeks ago, we also concluded the field work for both audits, for Sea Oaks and the agency. I do have a draft report, but it's still in draft format, so we are still working on it. But all the field work is done.
So if I can interject, so Ms. Fareed, we rehabbed 2 of our properties using low-income housing tax credits. So the reason why we have a separate audit for those 75 that even Carlos alluded to, the Summit and Alexander, is because it's under a different ownership structure, a limited partnership. So the audits are separate.
Got it.
That's what he's making reference to in the 2 different audits.
Is every development a separate LLC or not?
That's a good question. We're working on that. Do you want to tell her where we are? We've been working
Yeah,
on this.
it is a separate LLC.
LLC for each
Yes.
development?
Yes, but
Got
it's 100% owned by
HATSI,
HATSI.
and its partner, if there's an equity partner.
If it's a tax credit partnership, it's it's on paper,
Got it.
it's owned by the
is
limited
correct.
partnership.
So for the properties not in the partnership, there's only the two, the other 4 are LLCs. And then the 2 are in a limited partnership.
Got it, thank you.
Yeah. So, as far as the financials go, did you want me to run through the financial report? or should I-
Let's see if they have any questions. I mean, I think we might sit with Ms. Fareed and kind of go through a deep dive with her. That's okay. But we can brief by exception.
I was going to say, we all got the email and the opportunity to review it, so I guess I can open it up to see if anyone has any questions for Sakura today.
I do not.
I think it looked good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Save your money, a rainy day is coming.
okay.
Do you expect to have the audit reports ready to present next month?
Probably not next
No,
month.
that's fine.
Realistically, probably, another,
Okay. Yeah.
because.
Just curious.
Yeah, because it's gone to the limited partnership, and then, they have to approve it, and they have to finalize it, before we can even work on the agency-wide.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Heard. Thank you.
great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Now,
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda Silva Barber, and I'm the Resident Services Director here. I was previously the Family Self-Sufficiency Coordinator, and prior to that, I also worked at another housing authority for about 10 years. And I don't know if I said that, I've been here for a little over a year. So I'm giving an overview on the resident services that have been going on at the properties, and some that are going to be happening for all HCB residents. So right now we are still having the farmers market every month.
Recording in progress.
And that is every second Tuesday of every month at Maynardtown for seniors. And we are also having a cooking class at Alexander Oaks. Some bingo and craft activities with a community partner by the name of Aspen. Also, daily and monthly bus passes available to all residents. The residents at the Oaks and HCB residents who are needing those bus passes as well. We had fraud bingo with South State Bank at Maynardtown, and that was well attended. The residents loved that, and they learned some good techniques and tips on how to prevent scams from being scammed. Also, the Scholarship Prep and College Readiness Program. I had an info session recently this week, and going to be having another one in 3 weeks. So hoping to get some high school seniors to apply for that scholarship. And the town hall meetings have been ongoing at all properties at the Oaks. And the also Maynardtown and the Carson Creek and Eastern Oaks are the combined ones. Carlos, is that correct? Yes. Okay. We will be having a meeting with the Austin Public Library to hopefully have a mobile library at one of the properties, hoping Alexander Oaks. And the raised garden beds for Maynardtown, the residents had expressed that they did not want a gardening class on the weekend, so I spoke to that. Peter is the guy who's the gardener who's helping us out with that, and he's going to be having the classes on site in the fall. So that's really nice that he was able to do that for us. We're also going to be exploring providing transportation to a nearby food pantry at a church that's providing meat and bread. So that's something that the residents were really wanting, because a lot of the food pantries, it's only canned goods. And the financial education webinar that's going to be taking place next week. That's going to be open to HCV residents, and that is again with South State Bank. And we have an application that we submitted with the Central Texas Food Bank to get an after-school meal program, but it sounds like it's going to be happening in the summer. We're looking at a late May, June start date. And another thing that we're exploring is a senior home delivery program. We have, again, the partnership with Central Texas Food Bank, and they let us know that they have some spots available for seniors to get food delivered to their homes. So we're going to explore signing them up, those that are interested. And the really wonderful thing that Patrick was able to help me make this connection with the Black Men's Health Clinic, and they are going to help us with having some health fairs, health clinics at the properties.
That's great.
And we just started that conversation recently, so I'm excited to report more on that in the upcoming months. Any questions?
Just to comment, I think Frost Bank is sometime this month is going to be doing some shredding. So you may want to check with them. I don't remember the dates, but they will just have to drop stuff off there. So
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you for that information.
let them know.
Look into it.
And your financial education, is that on site?
So the financial education is going to be a webinar.
Okay.
And that is because the HCV folks, most of them, correct me if I'm wrong, Christina, most of them have jobs, and they're unable to make it to
Got
an
it.
in-person session. So we are trying to work with them, meet them where they're at, and have an evening webinar for them.
Absolutely. And it's ongoing, like it's every month or?
So right now, this is the first one that we're going to have for
Okay.
them, but we are hoping to have them maybe quarterly.
Okay.
And the partnership that we have with the bank, it's been great, and they are willing to help us with whatever we need.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And Frontier Bank also does that.
Frontier Bank?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions about the HATC Foundation? And then we have an HR organizational development.
Yeah, I highlight a lot of this in the strategic plan update, but again, we're focusing on human capital and really developing staff capacity. So, using Strength Finders as a platform for that this year. I'm excited about that because I think I've done it 4 times already. But it's always been insightful as you think about how you evolve as a person and what the skill sets you develop. So I'm a little different now than I was the last time I took it in terms of my assessment. But the staff will be, we're going through that exercise, and again, you all have an opportunity to do that as well. We've been looking at some job descriptions, highlight enhancing some of those or making modifications to such. And then I'm happy to report staff's been attending some conferences, which, hasn't always been something that folks have done, some first-timers. So we're just continuing to promote professional development and developing staff capacity, as it were. So, any questions?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That brings us to our board reports. Executive committee, I don't believe we have anything to report, but one project we will begin working on is redistributing, now that we have a new full board, redistributing folks to committee assignments. Real estate committee?
I have nothing to report.
Fantastic. Governance committee?
We, other than doing the contract, nothing.
And HR committee?
Same, ditto.
Is there any reason today to go into executive session?
No, but I think in the spirit of reports, you all will be reporting to the Commissioners Court. I know how to squeeze this in. The Commissioners Court on the 14th of May, if hopefully there's not a conflict, but as you heard, the State of the County address, I guess, is on the 30th of April, so that took precedence. So the meeting that we previously were going to have with the Commissioners has now been rescheduled to Thursday, May 14th, correct?
At what time?
After 1:30 session.
Okay.
I don't, there may be another item on the agenda, as you know, but hopefully, maybe not. But 1:30 is the start date for the work session. So we are working on putting together, the presentation, and they would like us to, similarly, use the previous update as a basis for this new one. So we'll be working on that.
I'm sorry, was there any reason to go into executive session?
There's none.
Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned, approved by a unanimous voice vote, and we're adjourned at 11:24. Thank you all so much.